For sake of transparency, I'm going to be honest here and say that trying to find a sexy way to define what we're going to talk about here is nearby impossible. Because how can I mention something like bringing people into your community in any other way than intake models? So bear with me if I have to explain what this means. And yeah, it's not the sexiest term in the world, I know, but I promise it will all make sense. One of the things that I don't find is talked about enough when it comes to building a community, and something that I brought up in the past with lots of clients and also with students as well, obviously going through our courses and content, is that sometimes we skip that part of understanding what is the best way for us to bring our members in the community. And this is not just based on the price model, so how much we're charging them, but it's also on how important it is to understand the quality of the people that are in the community and their specific, also the skills they bring to the table as members. Are they actually going to be a big part of the community feel? Or is the community more of a passive community that doesn't really require as much of that screening? This is where intake models come to place. If we're looking at intake models, there are a couple of examples that are, I think, the most prominent. Open communities, we have VIP masterminds or groups, and also application-based communities as well. We're going to go through a couple of examples. One of the things that I want to say is that open communities is some of the ones that we are mostly seeing when it comes to platforms like Skillshare, for example. These are very common, and so these open communities are just the ones where people can come in at any time, come out at any time. Whereas when we're thinking about things like VIP masterminds, we're thinking more about sometimes rolling times of opening, and this can be usually higher price, and it can also have an application or not, or it can have a hybrid. So the application-based ones are the ones that usually tend to have more of a rigorous form, whereas VIP masterminds, they can even be as far as having a waiting list and open at very specific times, whereas a lot of open communities tend to be always open. I know you're thinking, Fab, answer this question and give me the clarity I need. Which one is best? And then, you know what I'm going to do, and you're going to not like it, but you still love me, so thank you very much for that, because I'm going to say that there's not a right or wrong answer. It's really important that you go through this course and answer all the questions that we're asking you, which I know are a lot. But what I really want for you is to make the best decision based on you, what you need from your members, and what do your members need? What are you offering them? And how can you make the whole experience the best possible for you and for them? So there's not really one best model, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna go on the record and say that I think it can be depending on what are your goals and what is the member journey and all these things. So something to bear in mind, once again, because as annoying as it is, I promise it's going to be so much more worth the while. However, to help us out, we're going to get some examples. So Holt is a great example of community, and Holt, what they do is that they allow 25 new members per month with a waiting list. And inside the notes have that these waiting lists sell out in under 6 minutes. So this is actually a great strategy that you can lift if you wanted to. Another thing that is internal within the community, they allow existing members to recommend a friend anytime with every word when they've made 5 referrals. So they can actually personally invite people into the community that they think they will benefit. I will be honest, this is actually a model that really resonates with me, for example, and something that I've been looking at, and when I saw this, it really prickled my interest. This can be really good. This is a business community, so business owners or experts. So we're really trying to get the right people in. It also helps with getting the right growth. There's a growing waiting list, which means there are people that want to join that then can be kind of slowly brought into the vision, which I think is so powerful. And also obviously the referrals really help. This could be a good way to go, and it really combines that waiting list aspect with the applications, and I think it can be really powerful. So this is more where we're getting into the hybrid VIP mastermind style, where you can join the waiting list and then you will be selected to take the next steps. Once again, I want to mention Women in Tech SEO, because as I said before in one of our other videos, they really screen their people, especially being a free community. You would imagine it to be open to everybody, but I love the fact that there's a form that makes sure that the community is the best fit for the members and vice versa. which means applications can work both for free and paid communities. Sometimes we think it's for paid high-level communities. It doesn't have to be. I think more is important is understanding how active your members need to be, how much they're going to be leading themselves, the community on their shoulders versus you as well. That's really, really important. And another example, which you're going to see so much because I'm obsessed with Jay, is Jay Cloud's community. I think that's a great example with the lab. There are 3 tiers. The basic tier, everybody can join at any time. The standard tier, there's a certain number of spots that are available. So you will see there's a little green light underneath the little button, which means there's only 1 spot left at a time. And also the VIP version, which also has a certain number of spots available at any given time. I think this is really clever. Obviously, this might require some manual adjusting and some updating, as you can see. But the whole idea is that depending on the level of support they need, but also the level of knowledge they have and their experience, that we are tailoring different type almost of intake models, which I think is incredibly clever. Since Jay really values the quality of the people inside the lab, if you want to go for a full support with the community and not just that kind of course content, so we're going back to the idea of how much is content versus connections. He built different business models within one membership, which I think is really clever. So if you want to go for the more interaction-based package and plan, you will have to apply. I want to give us one more example of very specific VIP mastermind, and this is from a community called Dreamers and Doers. As you will see, a lot of these applications are usually for communities that are less customer-driven, referrals, product-based. These are really for, this can work really well for ambassador programs as well. So this is where we're kind of tapping in with this type of model. So Dreamers and Doers, they really value how they're growing, and they're growing slowly, which means there is yet again another application and all member referrals only. They really, really make sure that they are clear on the expectation of what the right fit is, and that what will happen is they will open up a certain number of cohorts. This is really where the VIP mastermind space comes back. And I think is really, really interesting to tell you how often this is open and how you can obviously get access to it too. Which kind of means that there's not really a right or wrong intake model, but I think it's incredibly important for you to understand which one you want to experiment with. That's another thing that I want to say. There's nothing wrong with keeping your community open for a certain amount of time or forever, and or allow yourself then to shift it if you find that you need to refine the type of members that are coming in and their input as well. You know, the truth is, active communities are not always what we need. For some type of businesses and for some type of goals, a more passive community that can consume the content or that can be consuming what you create or learn from you might be what you need. So I think it's really understanding that content versus connection and identify where you want to fit within that scale. And this is going to be so important, not just from the type of community that you want to build, but definitely also for how you're going to show up with it as well, and how you're going to bring more people into your vision and grow your membership. Something that I wanted to think about now instead of starting to think about it once you have already launched your community. It's such a big part of the strategy, so take your time to figure out which one works best for you.
Like what you just saw? That's just a taste of what we cover inside our short course. If this video sparked ideas, raised questions, or helped you see things differently, then the full experience is where you will really hit your stride, if I say so myself. Inside our course, we go deeper into the magic of building a community that mirrors your values and passion, so that you're not just another flash in the pan, but actually your community becomes a beacon of sustainable success, which is exactly what we want. This course is led by myself and the fabulous Lara Sheldrake, a powerhouse in community building and the founder of Found and Flourish. So you will really dive deep into the heart of creating a community of super fans. We'll cover everything from crafting a seamless member transformation journey and effective onboarding practices to exploring diverse community intake models and monetization options. By the end of this course, you'll be equipped with a clear roadmap to build, nurture, and sustain a thriving community that's perfectly aligned with your values. We offer bite-sized learning accessible in any device. Our lessons are designed to boost your skills faster, and then you can decide what to binge on next. just like Netflix, but for marketing knowledge. You get practical frameworks, real examples, and step-by-step guidance so that you can apply everything, not just absorb it and have fun doing it. Plus, when you join our short courses, you will also get access to our resource library packed with campaign ideas, tools, and even bonus materials in the AMS classroom. Access to our vibrant student community with exclusive events, networking opportunities, and other resources as well. And last but not least, personalized feedback on your projects from our expert team to help you excel in real-world applications. The AMS way is different, and we are not the only ones saying it. Our students back us up big time. Whether you're just getting started or leveling up with your marketing, this is your moment to move from ideas to action with support that actually matches your goals and what you're trying to achieve. So click on the link below to enroll, and I cannot wait to see you in class, because practice makes what? Progress.